Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Toma bina ke doyalu jagat samsari. Toma bina ke doyalu jagat samsari. Patita pavana Tavai avatara Patita pavana Tavai avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Deyara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Deyara Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Shuki Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Shuki Kripa Bala Kana Karo Ami Bado Duki Kripa Bala Kana Karo Ami Bado Duki Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Aha Swarup Sanatana Ruparagunata Aha Swarup Sanatana Ruparagunata Bata Juga Siddheva Prabhu Lokanata
It's 6 o'clock.
Bata Juga Siddheva Prabhu Lokanata Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Doya Koro Siacharya Prabhu Sinivas Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamada Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Hare Krishna. Good evening everyone in Calgary, Alberta. Happy Nityananda Trayodasi. This is a very auspicious day today, being the appearance day, anniversary of Sri Nityananda Ram. Sri Nityananda Ram was born in 1473. He is like 12 or 13 years older than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this evening we'll be discussing about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how Lord Nityananda Prabhu is none different than Lord Balaram. It explains in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about the glories of Nityananda Balaram. So I think we're going to read some part of that, and also like a song also from Srila Narottam Das Thakur, a very famous song about the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Vishami Tramine Prabhupada Sahityam Yapakashamati Raja Pracharangir Vansadu Dapate Maha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanan Gyana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakambitamscha He Krishna Karuna Shindo Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavanispari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So again, would like to thank the devotees from Calgary, Alberta, for their kind invitation for me to speak on Lord Nityananda today, being the most auspicious day, appearance day of Lord Nityananda. Yes, Nityananda Prabhu Ki Nityananda Trayodasi. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the Swayam Bhagavan. Everything emanates from him. He's a source of everything. Janmadi Asayataha. Sarva Karna Karnam. He is the cause of all causes. He is the original. He is the origin of everyone, of everything. That's another name for Krishna, means all attractive, and meaning that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Krishna, he expanded himself in different forms. According to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, his original form is Swayam Prakash. Swayam Prakash. This is the form of the Supreme Lord in Vrindavan, two-armed form, wearing silken yellow golden color dhoti with peacock feather on his head. And yes, his first expansion is Lord Balaram in the matter of Leela or pastimes. But he is the first expansion of the Supreme Lord, Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram is none different than Lord Nityananda. So sometimes Lord Balaram in different pastimes is like in Treta Yuga, Lord Balaram came as Lakshman, is the younger brother of Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, none different than Lord Krishna himself. In Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna himself, he came 5,000 years ago along with his brother, elder brother. Now it's Balaram. And then in Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord appears also as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Lord Krishna. And Lord Balaram appears as Lord Nityananda in Kali Yuga. Brajendra Nandana ye Sachi Suta Hoilo say Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So Lord Krishna, Brajendra Nandan, the darling, dearmost darling of Braj, son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, Lord Krishna, he came 500 years ago as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So there is no difference between Lord Balaram and Lord Nityananda. And Srila Prabhupada also mentions that the Krishna Balaram Mandir was established to prove to the whole world that the worship of Lord Krishna is none different than worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord Balaram's worship is none different than Lord Nityananda. They're eternal brothers, never live from each other. They're always together. It's like Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So similarly, Lord Balaram never leaves Vrindavan. Now is different. In Goloka Vrindavan, there is the topmost, it is the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. There is Dwarka, there is Mathura, and there is Gokul. So in those different places, Lord Krishna is also present, but he's most present in Braj, in Vrindavan, that Yasodanandana Krishna. But when he goes out of Vrindavan, performs some other leelas, like in Mathura or in Dwarka, then Vasudev Krishna is the one who performs those different pastimes along with his eternal associates. And Lord Balaram, he never leaves Vrindavan also. He's always Vrindavan, in Vrindavan. This is Prabhab. Lord Krishna expanded himself as Prabhab, Prakash, and Vaibhav Prakash. From Swayam Prakash, the original form of Lord Krishna, Krishna expanded himself in two forms. This Prabhab Prakash is Krishna also himself, but no difference in feature and no difference in the mood. Just like an example given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is that in the Rasa Lila dance, Lord Krishna expanded himself as there are many gopis to dance in the Rasa Lila. So the Prabhab Prakash is that when Lord Krishna expanded himself in the same form, same feature, same bodily structure, and the same mood, that Krishna is dancing with the gopis. But then there is one Krishna, the original Krishna, who's dancing with Shrimati Radharani alone. And that is the Swayam Prakash. That is the original Krishna. Now the expansion of others, Krishna, who is dancing with the gopis, that's Prabhab Prakash. Now there is another expansion of Lord Krishna, immediate expansion, this Vaibhav Prakash. And as Srila Prabhupada says, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. There's a difference though in bodily structure and the mood. Lord Krishna is like a monsoon cloud in color, bluish black in color, or the same as Yamuna or Tamal tree. But then this Vaibhav Prakash is Lord Balaram. Krishna in a different bodily structure, whitish in color, like crystal. And also his mood is different. His mood is that he wants to serve Lord Krishna. He's like the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. So the Supreme Lord has two moods. Krishna's mood, Swayam Bhagavan, is the Sevyaman. He is the one who accepts service. The mood of Lord Krishna is to accept service. Just like when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is we want to increase our service towards the Supreme Lord. So now Lord Balaram's mood is not to accept service. Lord Balaram's mood is to render service to Krishna, only to Krishna, and to his devotees, of course, but his main focus is only how to serve Krishna the best. So that is Balaram, the mood of Balaram. He is Krishna, but his mood is to serve Krishna. Similarly, that is Lord Nityananda. Non difference. So when Lord Krishna goes out of Vrindavan, he is Vasudev Krishna when he goes to Mathura and Dwarka. Similarly, Lord Balaram, when he performed the pastimes with Lord Krishna in Mathura, remember they were invited by Kangsha Maharaj, the king Kangsha, for that wrestling match where Kubalyapida, Mustika, and Chanura, they were killed. Kubalyapida is the elephant, they were killed. He was killed by Krishna, Balaram, and Mustika and Chanura. So that Balaram, who went to Mathura, and later on also to Dwarka and many, many places, that is the Mula Sankarshan. That is the original Mula, root. It's called root Sankarshan. Another name for Lord Balaram is Sankarshan. He who combines two families. Rohini Nandan. Rohini Nandan, that is Lord Balaram, the son of Mother Rohini, or dear to Mother Rohini, another wife of Vasudev. So Balaram, Mula Sankarsan. In the spiritual world, there is the first quadruple expansion. This Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. First quadruple expansion. This Maha Sankarshan. Okay? So Maha Sankarshan is the origin of all the four-handed feature, Narayan feature of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha. We have to explain it that way so we can understand who's Lord Balaram or Lord Nityananda. So yes, then the further expansions of Lord Balaram in the material world is the Mahapurush incarnations, the Purusha avatars. There is Mahavishnu, or Karano Dakashayi Vishnu, who's lying down in the Karana ocean. That means the whole material world, which is very is small part of the entire kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is composed of the spiritual world and the material world. So it says that the material world is only 1/4 of the entire creation, both spiritual and material, and the spiritual world is 3/4. 3/4. So somehow, in the function of the material world to exist, there is this Mahavishnu, is one of the Purusha avatars. He's by his glance through the material energy, then everything comes into being. So he's an expansion of Sankarshan. Maha Sankarshan as well also, because Sankarshan originally came from Maha Sankarshan. So further, in every universe, there is another Vishnu, Purusha avatar, who is lying in the Garbhodak ocean. Again, every universe is filled up with water. This Garbhodak ocean, where from the abdomen of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, then lotus flower sprout, and then this is the first being, Lord Brahma. So, and then further, in every living beings, the Supreme Lord also is present as the Kshirdakashayi Vishnu, or the Super Soul, the Paramatma, in every atoms, in every nook and corner, animate or inanimate, everything, the Super Soul is present. So that super soul also expansion from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, expansion from um, Maha Vishnu or Karana Vasayi Vishnu or Karana Dakashaya Vishnu, who is an expansion of Mahasankarshan again. So, and all the incarnations are coming from also Lord Balaram, which is meant, he is meant to serve the Supreme Lord. It says also that Lord Balaram is the ultimate cause of, the administration of the universe or the material world, and the living beings are created through the expansion of Lord Balaram. Tatasta Shakti, we are in that category. So ultimately, Lord Balaram is the one who's responsible for this creation, and his main purpose is to serve. That's why we were created to serve and increase the happiness of Lord Krishna. So ultimately, everything is focused to Lord Krishna. And Lord Balaram, he knows the best how to serve Lord Krishna in many, many capacities, in different rasas or different mellows or different relationship. In Santaras, he expanded himself, Lord Balaram, through his energy, Brindavan, the Brindavan, the Boma Brindavan, and also in the spiritual world, the Loka Brindavan. This is an expansion of Lord Balaram's energy to serve Lord Krishna. It's like all the living beings in Vrindavan and Mathura, and also it says in Dwarka, those who are serving Lord Krishna, these are all expansions of Lord Balaram. So the different paraphernalias that Lord Krishna uses, like shoes or umbrella, the bed, the dhoti, the peacock feather, the flute, these are all expansions of Lord Balaram. All these different living beings in Vrindavan, whose main purpose is to serve Lord Krishna, he says they're all expansions of Lord Balaram as well. So Balaram in Santaras neutrality, he serves the Supreme Lord in this way. In Dasharas, he's there, always in the service mood, of course. Even as an older brother, he wants to serve Lord Krishna. Sometimes we've seen this Lord Balaram massaging, or Lord Krishna massaging also Balaram's feet, and at the same time vice versa. Sometimes Lord Balaram also manifests himself in relationship with Lord Krishna in the mood of this Sakyaras. He's there as a friend and as an elder brother also, and to protect the Supreme Lord, not to be harmed. So just like this, whenever they go to the forest, then Lord Balaram is always ready to protect his younger brother in this way. So that mood, that protection is like the mood of the parental Vatsalya mood. So they're all mixed up, and all this relationship with Balaram. And Lord Balaram, he also served the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in the mood of conjugal, mellow, conjugal love, as in the form of Ananga Manjari. She's the younger sister of Shrimati Radharani. So yes, Lord Balaram is like this. He expanded himself in this energy, in this energy, which is in spiritual energy, only to serve Lord Krishna. So, yes, another expansion of Lord Balaram is Ananta Shesh. Ananta Shesh. Ananta means eternal, unending, Ananta, unlimited. And Shesha means Naga or serpent. Hmm. Um, he says that Ananta says has unlimited hoods, thousands and thousands of hoods. And in its hood, there is this special gem. And also the unlimited universes in the material world, they are also under in one of the hoods of Ananta. Ananta, on top of the hood of Ananta says. Ananta means unlimited, and Shesha means something which is left over. Well, that's one of the another meaning of Shesha, so, which means something which is still to be done. So this is Lord Balaram. He's serving the Supreme Lord unlimited in many, many ways, capacity. At the same time, whatever is left over to do, that is Shesha, that is Ananta Shesh. He's been glorifying the Supreme Lord since time immemorial. And still, the glories of the Supreme Lord also is eternal. So it's been glorifying and unending. It doesn't stop anywhere. It's always going on. It's continuous. That is Ananta says. So yes, Lord Balaram is none other than Lord Nityananda. There is a difference. Yes, there is a similarity, and there is also a difference between Lord Nityananda and Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda ultimately, it says that he is the original guru. He's a represent the whole, all the spiritual masters, the bona fide, those who are in the Guru Parampara, they're all representatives of Lord Nityananda or Lord Balaram. He is the Adi Guru. So in principle, we only have one guru. This is one. There is one guru, but then in details, many. But when we say your guru or my guru, ultimately, they are all representatives of Lord Balaram or Lord Nityananda. So this is the difference now, is that Lord Balaram, sometimes he gets angry. We can hear that story of Romaharshan, when Romaharshan was playing chess and he did not stand up when Lord Balaram came, because Lord Balaram, during his travel, he did not also take part in the battle of Kurukshetra. So during the battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Balaram was traveling all over the place. And somehow or other, when he met, when Romaharshan was playing chess and he did not stand up, then Lord Balaram became angry, and with the with the end of the kusagras, he just touched that to Romaharshan, and Romaharshan left his body in this way. Also, Lord Nityananda, he was traveling also. He was born, we mentioned 1473 in Ekachakra. I'm sure any one of you who's been to Ekachakra, it's a very special place. Mayapur is very rural, village type. But Ekachakra, where Lord Nityananda Prabhu took birth 500 years ago, is much more village type, rural. Very rare that you will see a car coming and going. Unlike in Mayapur, it's a little busy now also. But Ekachakra is like almost untouched. It's not exploited by constructions, high-rise buildings, and so on. It's like really like a village area, because this is the mood of Lord Nityananda also. So yes, when the Lord appeared, um, they can tell that this is not an ordinary boy. This boy is very special. This child is very special. That even at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, he will perform different drama presentations along with his friends. They would play and they will reenact many pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes of Ram, Lakshman, sometimes of Krishna and Balaram. But when Lord Nityananda, at that young age, he will play the role, sometimes as Lord Ram, and sometimes as Lakshman, sometimes Krishna, sometimes Balaram, along with his friends. They were become so absorbed that, of course, every day the friends, they will go home and they will tell their parents how enjoyable that day was, being with Lord Nityananda, Nitai. Um, we're so happy performing this different reenactment of pastimes that also when this is being done, being staged, the viewers or the villagers who are actually seeing, watching this, they will also become so absorbed. They will cry and they will so amazed how beautiful, how wonderfully this is being reenacted. Uh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect that you're almost like there when they're performing this different stage play or drama. That sometimes they will ask him, they will ask Lord Nityananda, how come you know all of these pastimes? This is amazing, very wonderfully executed. Why is it like this? How? And then Lord Nityananda will respond that, oh, this is my pastimes. Huh? I know them because these are all my pastimes. So the villagers who ask that question will just like scratch their head and what's that? What is the deeper meaning of this? So they didn't know that actually that is those pastimes that Lord Nityananda performed even at the young age. He did it actually. He was there in those pastimes. So he knew all of the intricacies, all of these pastimes. So it says that at the age of 12 or 13, then there is an ascetic. That means there is a mendicant, holy, saintly personality who came to visit the village, Ekachakra. That Hadai Pandit, the father of Lord Nityananda, and his mother Padmavati, because they offered to this mendicant, anything that you wish, I will give everything to you. And the mendicant, saintly person, says that I'm going to be traveling, doing a lot of traveling, so I need an assistant. And I want your child to accompany me. Since it was already promised, Hadai Pandit promised to the sadhu that he will do and he will give everything that he may need. So, and knowing the Vedic principle, they should not break their promise. So they gave um, Nityananda Prabhu, even though it's against their will, to this mendicant to have Lord Nityananda to travel with him. And therefore, within though, Lord Nityananda, he was eager to go along with the saintly personality, with the sadhu, because he wants to explore, he wants to see different holy places. They went to Prayag, they went to Rishikesh, they went to Mathura, they went to Vrindavan. And actually, during those travels, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he was waiting for that day when he will be able to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So at the age of 32, he ended up in Navadvip. At that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the Grihastha ashram, where his age is about 20. 20. Is it 20? Yeah, around 20. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knew that Lord Nityananda Prabhu already arrived in Navadvip. So he asked two of his associates to go and search, to go and find where is Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda, actually, he went to the house of Nandanacharya in his ashram, Nandanacharya. And this ashram of Nandanacharya is full of varieties of plants and trees, and it's very peaceful, very shanti. So Lord Nityananda was saying, well, if Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu would want to see me, well, he will come. If he's looking for me, he will come and see me here. So these two associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they going here and there, all over, and they cannot find. Eventually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, let's all go to Nandanacharya's house, his ashram, because he's there. He knew that he is there. So when they arrived, along with his associates, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was so much in ecstasy. It's like seeing an old friend again, not seeing for a long time. And everyone witnessed that when Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda looked at each other, yes, they seem to be like they knowing each other for a long time. So they spent together for some time. And Lord Nityananda, he can understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take sannyas. So Nitai, he knows the inner mood and inner desire of Lord Chaitanya, that he went with him to Katwa. Lord Nityananda went with Lord Chaitanya to Katwa to take sannyas. And then after taking sannyas, Lord Nityananda, because Lord Chaitanya would like to go to Vrindavan, but then Lord Nityananda tricked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and instead he brought him to Shantipur, the place of Advaita Acharya, Shantipur. And he also broke the danda. Lord Nityananda broke the danda of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, knowingly that he is beyond Varnashram. He doesn't have to carry the staff. And knowingly also that Lord Chaitanya is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there's no need for him to carry this danda. And ultimately, one of the reasons why Lord Nityananda broke this danda into three pieces is also so that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't have to worry about carrying the danda, especially when this will be like like an obstacle when traveling. And this was exhibited also when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri. If he has a danda, it'll take him quite some time, and there'll be some hardships going to Jagannath Puri, and he will not reach Jagannath Puri way ahead of his associates. So yes, Lord Nityananda is like this. He's merciful. It says that Srila Rupa Goswami addressed Lord Chaitanya as Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaurat Basay Namaha. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving freely love of God, Krishna Prem, to everyone without any conditions, even to the most unqualified, sinful personalities. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most magnificent personality, incarnation, the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. It was Krishna himself. But Lord Nityananda is more merciful than Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is exemplified in the pastimes of Jagai and Madhai. Jagai and Madhai. When we heard this story, it is amazing because as we mentioned earlier, Lord Nityananda's main purpose or duty is to serve Lord Balaram is to serve Lord Krishna, or Lord Nityananda is to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So every day they are doing this Sankirtan, and Sankirtan partners Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. They will go every day to canvass and tell everyone about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, and follow Krishna's instruction. So one day they found these two brothers, Jagai and Madhai. They were brought up in a Brahminical culture, but due to wrong association, they became degraded. So much so that they break all the principles of religion, everything. That it says that Chitragupta is the secretary of Yamaraj, the one who records all of the sinful activities of all living entities in our universe. And it says that Chitragupta, while jotting down or while compiling all of the activities of these two personalities, Jaga and Madai, they were so sinful that the hard drive of Chitragupta crashed, overloaded, too much, not enough space in the disk of Chitragupta to record. Practically, there is no sin that they did not, they committed all the sins that can be mentioned. So Haridas Thakur Nityananda says, this is very good. So why don't we convince them? So the first day that they met, Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, these two personalities, Jaga and Madai. Jaga and Madai, they chased them away. They chased them away. They asked to go, and they were like very, very angry, calling many ill names to Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda, that they concluded that, well, we cannot convince him today, so let us go and make a report to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So every day, at the end of the day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will ask what are the result of their activities, Sankirtan. So when Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda Balaram, he told to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there were these two brothers, very very degraded and fallen. Somehow or other, they chase us away while we are trying to convince them in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So it was not a really success. But even though it is like that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. So the next day, they decided actually that yes, we have to convince these two brothers. So the next day, Haridas Thakur was he's apprehensive. He was saying, this is very dangerous to Lord Nityananda. We better just not we better just avoid them, not to be with them, close to them. But Lord Nityananda, he knew that he was able to convince these two brothers to take up to the process of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then they know that Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mission will be fulfilled, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spreading of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will be taken up by many in the future. So, but Madhai became so angry. He found a broken pot, a clay pot, and he smashed this into the head of Lord Nityananda. And he says his blood oozed from his forehead. Now, Lord Nityananda is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's transcendental. He says that the Lord doesn't have veins and he doesn't have blood. He's not like us, having material form, material body. The blood is functioning and going all over the body. Lord, Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they don't have this. Lord Nityananda, they don't have material form. So there is no blood. But somehow or other, this was the plan of Lord Nityananda. He could not be harmed, but seemingly it looks like he was harmed. So the news is spread and it reached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately, he went to the place where Madai struck the head of Lord Nityananda. And he was ready. The chakra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ready to be released and to cut off the head of Jagai and Madai. But then Lord Nityananda says, no, please don't kill them. If you kill them, then the purpose of why you came will be defeated. You're supposed to save the entire world by engaging them in the glorification of the holy name, chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, somehow he forgave Jagai. But then Madhai says, no, he harmed you. I will forgive him. He told Lord Nityananda, if you forgive him, first you forgive him, then I will forgive. So Lord Nityananda forgave Madhai, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he forgave also Madhai. So both of them promised to not to sin anymore and to chant 1 lakh. That means 100,000 times the holy name of the Lord, which is like what, 64 rounds. It'll take about what, 8 hours. But then within Madhai, he was feeling still bad. very guilty for hitting Lord Nityananda on the top of, on his forehead. And he asked Lord Nityananda, what else? What kind of other activities to purify myself? And then Lord Nityananda says, oh, you can clean a gut, like a place for taking bath. Every day you can clean that area. And eventually that place became Jagai and Madhai gut. It's still there in Mayapur. And both brothers, they became, when they get initiated, Madhai became Madhab and Jagai became Jagannath. So this is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He's trying to engage everybody. The living entities in the Tasta Shakti, as much as possible, they turn the conditioned souls. They turn away their face away from the Supreme Lord. They don't want to serve practically. They want to serve themselves. This is the flight of the conditioned souls. So Lord Nityananda appeared as the spiritual master to save us, to engage us, to put us in the right direction, to always remind us of the goal, to give us all the facilities in order to engage in Krishna consciousness. This is Lord Nityananda. He wants us to serve the Supreme Lord so we can learn from Lord Balaram and Lord Nityananda the mood of how to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By following the spiritual master, we'll be able to please Lord Nityananda. And when Lord Nityananda is pleased, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased, then Radha Krishna Prem will be attained. It's within reach. So yes, there's so many songs, different songs by the previous acharyas glorifying Lord Nityananda. There is a song here of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Nitai pada kamala koti chandra sushitala ye jayai jagat judai heno nitai binebai Radha Krishna paitenai Drida kori doro nitai pai. The lotus feet of Nitai are so cooling as millions of moons. Their shade gives solace to the entire universe. Without a personality such as Nitai, O brother, it is not possible to attain Radha and Krishna. So firmly take hold of his lotus feet. So the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda is compared to these millions of moons. It's like in a full moon, the only one moon is so soothing. The rays gives us, just 1 second, gives us so cooling effect that if you work the whole day, your body, if the moon rays, moonshine, touch your body, you'll be rejuvenated. Hare Krishna. You'll be rejuvenated. You are becoming free from the stress and fatigue. So what to say? Anyone who takes shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, they can do 24 hours service and they will still always feel fresh. They will always feel energetic. So, yes, anyone who doesn't know Lord Nityananda and the purpose of human form of life is not be able to reach. One will not be able to reach. So in our disciplic succession, Gaudiya Vaishnavas will be able to have a glimpse of who is Lord Nityananda Balaram. In India, Krishna, his name is known everywhere practically, but they don't know exactly who is Lord Krishna. They may say that he is a cowherd boy or the Supreme Lord, but they don't have so much clue of how Krishna is Supreme Lord. What to say of Lord Balaram? Not many knows Lord Balaram. What to say of Lord Chaitanya? Many says he's a saintly personality from West Bengal. But what to say of Lord Nityananda? It's very difficult to understand who is Lord Nityananda. There are many, many more stories and yes, about Lord Nityananda. One thing I can remember though is like he's called also an Avaduta. An Avaduta means a very highly elevated spiritual personality, but they don't conform with the environment. They don't conform with the society. They act on their own and free to act anything, and difficult to understand. Like sometimes as an Avadut, Lord Nityananda will not wear anything, completely naked. And sometimes he would also suck the breast of Malini Mataji. It's like a child sitting in the lap of Mother Malini, sucking her breast for milk. And it's amazing that milk will also flow. There is also one pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Lord Nityananda. He will play with the crocodiles without fear at all. So yes, we should learn from Lord Nityananda the mood of how to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Serving Supreme Personality of Godhead means trying to serve our spiritual master. But it says that if you serve the servant of the spiritual master is better than serving spiritual master directly. And this is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. If you serve the servant of Guru, who is representing Lord Nityananda, then Lord Nityananda also becomes happy.
It's 7 o'clock.
Becomes happy. And in this way, we should pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu to give us strength. Lord Nityananda, none other than Balaram. There are two kinds of strength: material strength and spiritual strength. We need spiritual strength to help us continue on, to become determined, to become more and more serious in our practice of Krishna consciousness. We should ask the help of Lord Nityananda Balaram. It's like Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram, he carries a plow and a mace, gada. The plow is used for tilling or having our heart be ready It's like before you plant a seed, you need to clean the ground, till the ground, ready for that seedling. And the mouse, the the maize. We pray to Lord Balaram Nityananda to pulverize our anarthas, not so that nothing will be left, and purify our hearts so that we will attain Braja Prem. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is through Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda's mercy is through the Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, and the disciplic succession. So we pray in that way. Okay, so we stop here. Do you have any points, any more questions? Haribol, in our Zoom land there in Calgary.
Yes,
Any
Maharaj.
points?
Yes, this is such a
Yes.
Yeah, you are explained very wonderfully, very nicely, wonderful. So my one question is, some people in Bengal, they are just always following Nityananda.
Yes.
So what is the difference? Because if they're following only Nityananda without Gauranga, how it is work?
No, when you say Nityananda, it is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who becomes happy. He gives you his blessings, Lord Chaitanya.
Yes.
When you say Chaitanya or Gauranga, similarly, Lord Nityananda gives you his blessings, his kripa, Nitai, Nityananda, kripa, Nitai kripa. So just like in Vrindavan, you'll hear more the names of Shrimati Radharani, right? In Vrindavan, what do they say? Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe Radhe, right?
Yes.
So what happened? I thought Krishna is the prince of Vrindavan. So why is it Radharani is being called? So when you say Radharani's name, Krishna is the one who becomes happy. It's like that. Do you follow?
Yes.
So in Navadvip, Mayapur, joy Nitoy, joy Nitoy. They will say more. Joy. Joy Nitai.
That's fine.
Joy means happy, right? Happy, joy. Happy Nitai. Yeah, this is how it is. ISKCON, you'll hear more Gauranga. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes Jai Nitai, especially Lord Nityananda's appearance day. Yes.
So, Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And that is, how long did it take Lord Nityananda to convert Jodi and Madhi into devotees?
Jagai and Madai. How long did it take?
Lord Nityananda to convert Jodai and Madai into devotees.
Not so long, because they're very determined. Like 2 meetings, 3 meetings maximum. First they heard, and then they found him, and then the next day, yes, they convinced him. They convinced them. Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda convinced. But with the help of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of that part-time. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
There is one more question, Maharaj. Ajit Prabhu, you can ask question, please. Ajit Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity to hear on such an amazing day. So, Maharaj,
Where are you, Ajit? I want to see your face. Lotus
Maharaj,
face.
not a
There
lotus
you go.
face.
Ajit. Yes, sir.
Maharaj, so my question is that due to false ego, there is a lot of reluctance to follow the instructions of representative of Nityananda Prabhu. So how can one tame this propensity? Because the song which you shared there, Narottam Thakur is writing that due to false ego, one thinks asatya as satya. So Maharaj, how can this be tamed up so that
We just have to keep remind ourselves that we are very small and we cannot do anything without the mercy of Nitai, Gaur Nitai. And he can help us. We have to recognize it ourselves and act upon it in order to make progress and get rid of this false ego. That is the reality. That's why we're still here in this material world, because of false ego. So we have to keep reminding ourselves, especially the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. No one can chant continuously the holy name of the Lord if one has false identification of his body as the self. Usually false ego is for those who want to become the supreme themselves. We cannot be supreme. We will always be servants. And especially this mantra or sloka that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, we should tie this up around our necks. Trinarapi sunichena tarur avi saisuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So we have to keep reminding of that. We're lower than a blade of grass. We should be more tolerant than a tree. We should be always ready to give respect to others, but not expecting any respect for ourselves. And just by being meek and humble, you will, it says also in the Christian, those who are meek and humble, they will inherit earth. The earth, that means they will live peacefully ever after. So yes, false ego. We have to follow the process. Everything that we do in Krishna consciousness is to always remind us that we're not the body, we're spirit, soul, and we're all servants of the Supreme Lord. This is how we can do it. Okay?
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you for giving this strong reminder also. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Anything
Krishna.
else?
No, no, Maharaj, I think we're pretty much done. Atmaram Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj, for giving us a very nice class. We really appreciate you being here with us. I know you are very busy because today you gave a second class today. So thank you, Maharaj, and we are looking forward for you to come back again for more classes.
Sure. Sure. Happy to be with you in this auspicious Nityananda Trayodasi. It'll help us to gain more spiritual strength by hearing the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. So thank you all very much. I don't know how many joined in your program today. There's about like what? 9 times 2 is about 20, I suppose. 9 participants. But it's okay. There, it's also available in Facebook, right?
Yes, Maharaj. There are many people on Facebook, like almost 20 people are there on Facebook. Yes,
Facebook. So thank you all very much, Atmaram Prabhu, and your congregation there.